Hello and welcome to the Daytona State College New Smyrna Beach Campus United States History Final by Envy, Stephanie, Raven, and Heaven. Today we're going to be talking about our experience at the New Smyrna Beach History Museum and their Old Coronado Beach walking tour. We started off the tour at the Coronado Beach Shuffleboard Court and Pavilion. Tour guide started the tour off by explaining some of the local art, like you can see the clock tower. Then we started walking around. During the tour guide had a ton of these vintage pictures. It was really cool because we were able to see the historic photo in the modern context, or like where the picture is today. Like you can see in this next picture, he was showing us and explaining to us how the United Methodist Church's boutique/store was historically a schoolhouse. That's one thing I really liked on this tour. Growing up beachside, I feel like there's not really many ways to learn about the history of New Smyrna Beach, but through this tour I learned history I would have never before been able to learn, especially thinking about how niche and kind of small the New Smyrna Beach beachside community can be. The tour also took us into some places that even growing up beachside I would have never been able to visit before. We went into this beautiful pink hotel on the water right next to the drawbridge. The hotel had so many beautiful historic photos. Another great part of this tour is not only did we go to historical commercial zones, but we also got to learn about the communities within New Smyrna Beach, like where people live in their homes. I learned what a Sears home was, but definitely my favorite part of the tour was going to this historic World War II park. Back in the 1940s, it served as a watchtower for submarines and airplanes. The coolest part of this definitely was being able to see real-time history, as this is one of the many places women were able to serve during World War II, just like how we learned about in our textbook. But that's enough for me. Let's take it over to Raven and her wonderful interviewee.
I'm Raven. I'm a proud local of New Smyrna Beach. Join me on a journey through time as we delve into the rich history of our beloved beachside in an engaging video experience. We will immerse ourselves in the past while basking in the warmth of the sun of New Smyrna Beach and the historical significance. We will uncover fascinating stories, hidden talents, and explore intriguing history of a unique fire station on beachside and discovering fascinating facts about its hidden past. Alright, let's embark on this venture together and unveil captivating narratives of New Smyrna Beachside. Alright, meet my best friend Julian of many years.
Hello.
Julian, do you want to introduce yourself and what you do?
My name is Julian Popolitis. I grew up beachside New Smyrna, a few blocks away from here. I'm in the Coast Guard Reserves, been in them for the past 7 years now. And I'm also a Port Orange City firefighter, just started there this January.
Right. And how do you like learning about New Smyrna history? Like, do you know much about it?
I know a little bit about it, not too much, just from being local, seeing all the historic sites and everything, but always looking to learn more.
Alright. Today I'll be interviewing him and putting his knowledge to the test. Alright. Julian, so let's start to get to know you first.
Okay.
What's your favorite thing about working at a fire station?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I really like the schedule. Right now I work 24 hours on, and then the next 48 hours I'm off, which is great. It gives me a lot of free time to focus on different hobbies and interests that I have, but also the job is just very exciting. Always something new, never know what's going to bring the next shift.
Alright, let's start on the test your knowledge of New Smyrna Beachside.
Alright.
Do you want to guess how many fire stations there used to be in New Smyrna Beach?
There used to be? 2.
No, there's actually 3.
Oh.
We're currently at one of them. This one used to have a water tower. And there was one, what was the name of this place? The one down Canal, and then the one that's still standing.
Pat Collato's Real Estate.
Pat Collato's. Yep. Alright. With all those 3 fire stations being so close, do you think there would be any competition between the 3 or cause any craziness to happen?
I could definitely see competition just because I know when we get a call, we always want to be first due. to that call, even if it's not we're not the closest station. So just friendly competition like that.
Yeah. All right. Eventually, this fire station we are currently at, like I said, had a water tower. Eventually, it was taken down in 1973. Do you want to guess what the water tower was used during World War II?
What was it used for? Just like rations, water rations?
Actually, it was used as a lookout for enemy warcrafts. As the water tower was constructed in 1926 in New Smyrna Beach, these towers crucial at spotting and tracking aircraft movements. Volunteers underwent specialized training using hand-cranked telephones to report their observation to central commands in Orlando and Jacksonville. During World War II, there was a persuasive fear that enemy aircrafts would attack, similar to what happened in Pearl Harbor. This fear led to the activation of volunteer civilian service of the U.S. Army Ground Observation Corps of 1942, known as AWS. And I know, as you said, you work in the U.S. Coast Guard as well as you work at the fire station. As I know, it's very high stress environment. And how do you deal with all those situations?
So sleep is key, just because you never know if you're going to get a good night's sleep while you're on shift. So just maintaining a healthy sleep schedule when you're off is important. Also, just finding things to help take your mind off and relax.
Right. And was there any surprising facts you learned today that you would like to tell us about?
I didn't know that there was a water tower here, or that they used it for a lookout, and I also didn't know that there were 3 original fire stations located here.
And I learned all this information. I highly recommend the Museum of New Smyrna Beach on Canal Street. They offer a wide variety of historical topics, and they offer story tours. The one I went to was the Wednesday one on March 28th, as they tour all around Flagler, it used to be known as Coronado Beach, learning more. Have you ever been to the Museum of New Smyrna?
I have not.
You should go there. I highly recommend it. They run on a volunteer, non-for-profit service, and I learned at the peak of AWS there was impressive amount of volunteers, and learning more about New Smyrna history was very vital and really cool. All right. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for helping me.
Thank you for having me.